Black and white folks react as whites only town begs for help.
My name's Nikki, N-I-K-I, I'm 32. I'm a lady.
This is Return to the Land, a group of millennials who organised online to build something radical and controversial. A town for white people only. They
building white only towns. They obsessed with us, bro. We ain't thinking about y'all. Niggas just trying to get through their week and take care of their kids and keep the lights on. Ain't nobody thinking about y'all like that, bro.
insist it's completely legal.
No black, no gay, and no Jewish people. That is the rule in this white-only town being built in Arkansas. Nope, this isn't 1950. It's happening right now in 2025 in the Ozarks.
We really live rent-free in their heads, dog. This is crazy.
A group called Return to the Land has built what they proudly call a whites-only community on 160 acres in the Ozarks. They've got cabins, roads, fences, wells, community center, and even a private schoolhouse, all for people who pass their strict racial and cultural tests. To live there, you must be white with European ancestry, straight, Christian, and you cannot be black, Jewish, LGBTQ, or follow a non-European religion.
Hey, dog, based on what I've been learning over the past couple of weeks, man, you know, a few of y'all are going to slip through the cracks because a lot of y'all got some messed up ways, man, especially the ones who are racist as hell. The loudest ones, y'all the ones that if I was to go and search your internet browser history, it'll probably be some alarming shit in there, bro. That's all I'm going to see.
Only community, only white people are going to be allowed. Probably shouldn't listen to that. So only white people are going to be allowed. What do you mean, people aren't mad about that? Okay, but they're supposed to get really mad about it.
They vet applicants with video interviews, and some are even asked to prove their ancestry. The founders, Eric Orwell and Peter Sears, say that they want to create a, quote, fortress for the white race. In their own words, you want a white nation, build a white town. Now,
what y'all gonna eat, man? You ain't gonna have no Mexican food, no Chinese food. You know, I'm pretty sure ain't nobody Italian trying to move out there with y'all. You know, y'all are cooked, bro. Y'all about to be eating raisin, potato salad, and string bean casserole. All whack food, bro. Like, come on, man.
Here's the thing. They're calling it a private membership association to dodge federal housing laws. Basically, they sell membership shares through a company called Wisdom Woods, LLC. And rather than traditional deeds, which they claim makes them exempt from anti-discrimination laws like the Fair Housing Act. And shockingly, well, maybe not, there's already 40 people living on the site and hundreds more worldwide are applying. They say they have things like goat herding, homeschool programs, flute recitals, and even a white baby bounty, basically rewarding white females for having more children. And
Jesus Christ, bro. This is tiring, to say the least, man. They encouraging them to have babies. Why do you need encouragement to have kids? Maybe because your women don't look at you like feasible options to have kids with. Like they rather get rid of the child than to have one with your lame loser ass, man. Damn, dog, I'm noticing some shit about like white dudes that's racist, dog. They never look like they get coochie. Sorry to be vulgar. I'm just keeping it real with y'all, man. You don't see a whole bunch of conventionally attractive white men on the internet complaining about black people and Hispanics and Indians and Asians and Africans. You don't hear that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You just don't see it.
I saw one of their interviews and even their dog is white. Then get this, they're not stopping in Arkansas. They've already announced plans to expand into Missouri near Springfield. Now, civil rights groups like the NAACP and Anti-Defamation League and state officials are calling it what it is, a modern-day experiment in segregation, racism, and legal loopholes.
Something about this white-only community.
I don't think we should care about this, though. I'm going to call a spade a spade. Like, the NCAA should not even be sticking their nose in these people's business. Nobody who works at the NCAA should even care about this. Why would we want to go there in the first place? We not the Hodge twins.
He sets me off, and it sets me off because as a race, anytime black people try to get together and commune and have community for themselves, and only black people living around each other, you kill them. You take them out of here. So I could literally go on and on. Tulsa Massacre, Rosewood, East Street, St. Louis. I can literally go on and on. The Move 5. We can't have nothing, but y'all want to have it and y'all want to live alone. But when we wanted to live alone, you wanted to red room us. This just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, bro, that's some crazy shit when you really think about it, because the chances of us going to the Ozarks or wherever it is that they at, Slim to none. We ain't going over there messing with them people. We want to be left alone. Every time we built something, they came and destroyed it. Even got the federal government involved. They was dropping, you know what I'm saying? They was using planes to put fires on Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? They deputized people to do that. It's interesting. We live rent free in their heads, man.
Furthermore, no one cares if they live alone. Bye, bye, bye. Please get up out of here. Furthermore, all this land is stolen. There were indigenous people here prior to you. So when they say things like, I want to be alone, I wish they'd go back to their country, where did you come from?
Hey, man, the irony is this, that they're probably walking literally on Native American land over there in Arkansas. Arkansas is a Native American name. That is an indigenous name. Arkansas has a meaning that's, man, hold on. Let's do it right quick. I know the word Mississippi means big water. That's an Indian name. What does the word Arkansas mean? The word Arkansas comes from, that's a quapaw, that means Indian, which means south wind or people who live downstream. The name was given to the tribe by other native groups and adopted French explorers, and it has been spelled in various ways throughout history. Dog, isn't that irony, bro? Y'all are taking people's, it's already been taken. That's the thing. It's already been taken and y'all want to claim it as white only. Indian people can't even live there. That's wild, bro. Indigenous people. And y'all know what the indigenous people look like.
Funniest part about that whites only town in Arkansas, black folks ain't mad, and you're mad, we not mad. So there's a brand new whites only town in Arkansas, and the gag is black people don't even care. Now, I've seen the comments. Aren't black people upset? Why are you mad about this? We gonna clear this up right now. Nobody's upset.
I'm telling you.
See, the one thing black people ain't gonna do is lose sleep over other people that want to create a safe space for themselves. Build your own little town, plant a flag, that's fine. Hang a welcome sign, whatever makes you feel good.
Only person that's mad is Officer Tatum, the Hodge twins, and all that kind of stuff. Like, them the only black people I know that would even want to be within 10 feet of that place.
Honestly, we got to be real about something, because I saw the interviews, I saw the clips. This ain't a town of exceptional people. I mean, think about it. If you drop everything to move to this town, you probably already didn't have much going on anyway,
Facts.
Right? And that's not shade, that's facts. So the question is, again, why should black folks care? This is the part that cracks me up the most. Y'all want us to care. I see the confusion in your eyes. I see it. Y'all like, don't the blacks care?
No.
Don't they want to be where we are?
No.
Nah.
Not
We just
one
want to
bit.
make sure when we build our communities, we're not cheated out of the things that we're supposed to have. That's all we care about, boo. And it's wild because history has shown as soon as black people do build their own thriving spaces, what happened? Some of your people roll up and burn the whole thing down.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to believe now y'all just want to be left alone. Child, I'm going to tell you what really gets
That's hey, listen, dog, that's a part of the history, man. Real talk. There's been occasions where a white mob entered into churches and dragged people out of the church because somebody white said that person did them something. They bombed churches. They bombed schools. They talk about black people and black on black crime, but the white on black crime far exceeds it. Real talk. You talk about black people doing this to each other all the time. If you added up the numbers and compared apples to apples, more black people have been killed at the hands of white people than black people killed at the hands of black people. I'm just calling a spade at this point, man. Y'all did a lot of shit. Real talk. We ain't just talking about Jim Crow. We talking about everything that y'all have done over history.
gave it away for me, though. The fact that they ran to the media. That's not privacy, y'all. That's desperation. Numbers must be low. If you gotta beg the evening news to let them know that you exist, waitlist my ass. See, if black folks were building their town, the media would be the last people that we want to know about.
Right, keep this under wraps.
We gatekeep. We ain't trying to broadcast. But y'all couldn't wait to hold a press conference. Mm-hmm. That's not security, that's thirst. So no, we're not upset. We're not jealous. We're not even plotting to crash your party. Because truth be told, we really don't care. And honestly, that's what really bothers y'all.
Hello, guys. And
bro, we got too much sauce to be wanting to go over there. What we gonna do? We like to have fun. We ain't thinking about no damn goats and playing the flute. Real talk. I ain't gonna say all of us ain't thinking about playing the flute. I know some of y'all watching this probably know how to play the flute and play it well, but you get what I'm saying, bro. Like, nobody want to go over there to that lame vanilla shit.
Welcome to the Joe Report, where we get an outsider's view with an insider's clarity. There was a group of people in Arkansas that was trying to create a white-only town where they could feel safe and live apart from everyone else. They imagined building their own little world, untouched by diversity, responsibility, or accountability. At first, they treated it like a bold step towards independence, a declaration that they didn't need anyone outside their circle. But reality doesn't bend to fantasy. And now, the same folks who swore they could make it on their own are quietly turning back to the very systems they claimed to reject. Before we proceed, all credit goes to the creators of these videos. Let's roll a few more clips and I'll be...
Say, dog, that's crazy. They thought they was building Wakanda for white folks, and turned out this shit was more like Wish.com for Wyoming. This is crazy to me, bro.
back with more commentary.
Them folks ain't even make it 2 months without there being talks of them actually failing as a community, bro.
You suck.
I feel like Paul Atreides, Blazing Eve type shit. Oh, that shit is nuts, bro. And I haven't seen anything that like concretely says it has failed. You know what I mean? But I can infer what they're going through. Because if you look at how the farmers in Arkansas are dealing with the Trump administration, the Trump regime, you know, them farmers are struggling, and I'm assuming that them folks down there are struggling even more than the farmers. You know, because it's really funny, bruh. It's really funny because I had a whole bunch of white folks in my comments talking about we don't need y'all, we don't need coloreds, we don't need the blacks, you know. When it's obvious that you do, you know, like a lot of the labor and a lot of the materials that y'all need in order to survive come from colored folks, come from people of color. You know what I mean? So I'm just do a little victory lap type shit, you know. But I was right, goddammit.
It's just crazy to me, the delusion of some of these people, dog. Like, non-whites have never done anything to whites in America, period. It just doesn't exist. You might have some one-off cases, but as a whole, y'all have always been on offense and colored people has always been on defense, right? That's the whole reason behind the civil rights movement. You motherfuckers wouldn't even let a nigga drink out the same water fountain with y'all. And some of y'all I've seen kiss dogs in the mouth. Not all of y'all. I've seen some black people do it too, but it's crazy how you could be white and kiss a dog in the mouth, but then say, nah, this nigga can't drink out this water fountain right here. That's crazy to me, bro. It's very, very interesting, man. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a couple of videos, you know, this might be anecdotal, this might be some false shit, but I've seen a couple of videos of a whole bunch of white people saying that they don't really bathe like with washcloths, and they don't really bathe their, you know, scrub their legs, because theoretically, if you wash up here and the soap is here, then it kind of trickles down and there you go, you're clean all of a sudden. That same person would be like, nah, man, this Negro getting his pool, we gotta drain this bitch. You can't be contaminating with the goddamn with the melanated folks. You see where I'm going with this, dog? The logic never logics.
So did y'all hear about the people that are moving to Arkansas? They want to build their own town. Stop it. So did you know also that now they are begging the government to help them?
Y'all looking for welfare? Oh my God, not y'all looking for welfare, bro.
They want money for housing. They want money for food. I thought you were so above everyone and you can only be white to live here. Really? Use your whiteness and all that money that you claim you have and build your own town the way you said. No one
Tell them to lift themselves up by their bootstraps.
cared. No one cared that you had that land, that you only wanted white people. You had to put in an application and they can deny your application because you weren't white enough and you weren't superior enough. Oh, really? So why do you need that same government to assist you, boo? That doesn't even make good common sense. And then they claim that they're so great at building and architecture and engineering, but they're not even qualified. If you look up the qualifications in their town, they don't match.
But the thing is, they've always needed government assistance. You got land grants. You had the fact that they started giving out loans so that people can buy homes because they weren't out there building them themselves, saving up the money, doing the labor. They wasn't doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they didn't offer that same shit to black people. So yeah, y'all always needed the government, dog. Most black people, especially black people her age and older, guess what? When they bought houses, they had to buy them cash, or they had to get on these installment plans in order to buy them. It wasn't a loan, it was an installment, right? And then a lot of times the white people who put them on the installment plans was crooked. Give you a prime example. Let's say the year is 1945, 55, whatever the case is. Let's say you in Detroit. A white person to have a house for sale. Let's say they want to sell it to you for $20,000. What will happen is they'll basically give you a month-to-month type of thing, and you'll pay it off over time. But sometimes they'll change the damn price. You're just at the finish line about to make your last payment. Oh, the market increased. The house is now worth $30,000. So unfortunately, it's not paid off yet. You got to come up with an additional $7,000. And then some of them will just keep doing that. And then there was nothing you could do as a black person, because guess what? When you go to the laws, they ain't on your side. Always need a handouts, bro. Let's be real.
So the only qualifications it looks like they have, I'm white.
The idea of a whites-only town sounds powerful only in theory. In practice, it exposes just how much people rely on the work, skills, and infrastructure of those they try to exclude. They may have wanted a place where they didn't have to coexist with others, but you can't build a functioning town on slogans and fear. You need labor, money, medical care, teachers, builders, drivers, public services, technology, supply chains, and a tax base. You need people, real people, not just ideology. When a community limits itself to one narrow group in the name of safety or purity, it also limits access to talent, innovation, and economic circulation. Many of the people drawn to these isolationist fantasies believe that cutting themselves off from the diverse communities will make life simpler and safer. But safety doesn't come from shutting out the world. It comes from functioning within it. Towns that thrive do so because they are connected to other people, other ideas, other resources. What they often forget is that most of the infrastructure they take for granted is built and maintained through collective effort. If they want electricity, water, the internet, those services come from networks that don't stop at the town line. Even something as basic as emergency response, police, firefighters, hospitals require trained professionals who come from all backgrounds. Shutting out people while benefiting from their labor is not independence. That's hypocrisy packaged as self-reliance.
Hey, that's some crazy shit. Imagine them getting sick and then having to go to the city and the doctor there is black. Boy, that's going to be some funny shit. Just imagine that, bro. You ain't got no people in your group that's doctors or nurses or any of that kind of stuff. So you got to go back to the city or the nearest town, and you pull up there with your problems, and the black person got to assist you. That's going to be tough, because it's possible. It can happen.
The challenge they face is economic survival. Small towns don't generate wealth on their own. They need tourism, trade, jobs, and outside investment. If they want to run grocery stores, hardware shops, clinics, construction companies, or farms, they need workers and customers. A closed-off town with a limited skill pool cannot sustain an economy. They can't produce everything locally, and they certainly can't afford to import everything without a broader tax base. When somebody new moves in and nobody different is allowed to contribute, the town stagnates, businesses close, schools underfund, hospitals shrinks, and young people leave. That's not safety, that's decay. Isolation also doesn't protect people from the responsibilities of the modern world. The same people shouting about government overreach end up lining up for assistance when floods come, roads collapse, or budgets run dry. And when the town isn't generating enough revenue, there's only one place left to turn: federal and state aid. That's when the pride quiets down and the paperwork comes out.
This country's so messed up. If they needed the help, they probably would fund this racist white-only town. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I don't see anything wrong with this. And you know what, bro? They sit up there and let it go under the radar for a long time. Like, I was thinking about Lily Gaddis, man. If I had a channel where I just constantly just said nothing but racist shit about white people or any group of people, they would have been got my black ass off. I wouldn't even been able to get to 170 something thousand subscribers. They'd have stopped me at like 3,000 or 4,000 subs, man. Real talk. You can only get on the internet and talk shit about black people that long before somebody demonetizes you, dog. You can't talk about nobody else, dog. You talk about them people that run Hollywood too much. Maybe a video or two and you out of there, partner.
very idea of a whites-only community also ignores the fact that America runs on the labor, creativity, and resilience of many different people. The irony is that the people who fear demographic change are the same ones depending on it the most. They want to separate from the world while enjoying the benefits of global systems. They want to distance themselves from others, but still demand access to work, taxes, and services of those they exclude, even if they try to rely strictly on one another.
You can tell he don't know what he's doing.
Work, taxes.
Look at this guy. A loser. How is gonna stay level, sir? You ain't got nothing supporting it. Your dumb ass holding it.
And services of those they exclude, even if they try to rely strictly on one another. The cracks will show fast. Who's going to staff the clinics? Who's going to do the manual labor? Who's going to teach the children, build the houses, maintain the grid, grow the food, and manage the finances? When the talent pool is limited by ideology instead of ability, incompetence rises and community health drops. That's how small towns shrink into shadows of themselves, empty businesses, aging populations, and rising desperation. The rumor itself reflects a mindset that many people have but don't want to admit. They think separation equals power, but power has always come from connection, exchange, and contribution.
She don't look like she's capable of doing anything handy. What value you gonna bring to that community out there in the middle of the woods? You probably just know how to make a matcha coffee or something like that. Matcha latte, that's it.
Community that cuts itself off is not protecting itself, it's starving itself. Independence is not built on exclusion, it's built on collaboration, access, and shared effort. The moment they need help, medical care, funding, schooling, food assistance, emergency services, they prove that they are not separate from the country they claimed to escape. So now the same people who didn't want to mix, didn't want to integrate, and didn't want to acknowledge others are quietly asking for assistance, hoping nobody points out the contradiction. The truth is simple. No town can thrive by itself to coexist. If you eliminate everyone you think you don't need, you'll eventually prove just how much you did.
Are you saying I'm stupid? No. Do I look stupid to you?
So what do you all think? Was it really ever about safety? Or was it about control? Can a community that rejects the world survive without the world's help? And at what point does pride collapse under the weight of reality? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I would love to keep this discussion going. Otherwise, that's it from me. I also have another video specifically.
Crazy. This one here about a jaw report, man. Go holler at your girl over there. Yeah, man, that shit's gonna fail miserably. They don't stand a chance, man. They don't stand a snowball's chance in hell, boy. Crazy. But anyway, I hope y'all liked the video. If you like what I was putting down, hit that sub button.